Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From Whitaker Bank Ballpark, this is the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. Hello again, everybody. Andrew Murphy on the mic with you. Thanks for tuning in to baseball right here on PrepSpin.com and the Legends Broadcast Network. Tonight, Leyendas versus Freedom for Game 2 of this two-game series to open up the final week of the regular season here in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. Go ahead and get your starting lineups for the visiting Florence Freedom. Batting first and playing third, Craig Massey. Batting second and playing second, Simon Whiteman. Batting third, the first baseman, Chad Cedillo. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Logan Wyatt. Batting fifth and at short, Tyler Fitzgerald. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Cesar Trejo. Batting seventh and in left field, E.P. Reese. Brian Dansereau is in center field. He bats eighth. Marshall Rich, the catcher, batting ninth for the Florence Freedom. Look around the field for the Leyendas defense. Cole Sturgeon in left field, Ben Revere in center field, Luke Heyer in right field this evening. Around the horn from third to first, Drew Ellis is at third base, Luke Becker at shortstop, Cullen Large at second base, Webb Little at first base. Behind the dish, catching balls and strikes, is Mike Millian, and Caven Brown is on the mound tonight for the Leyendas de Lexington. Caven Brown, the 6'4", 205-pound right-hander, 23 years old, out of Paris, Kentucky. He attended Bourbon County High School and went on to play at Eastern Kentucky University, where he was a phenom there, but his career was hindered by a torn UCL, and this season has served as somewhat of a beginning of his comeback, looking to get signed to some minor league organization. So far this season, he's thrown 19 complete innings with 28 hits, 20 runs, 15 of those earned. He's walked 8 batters, struck out 22, and has a record of 0-2, posting a 7.11 ERA. Beautiful night here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. The sun begins to set just over a patch of clouds. We're looking at just beyond center field. And Craig Massey readies up on the left side. Brown delivers the first pitch. It's a called strike one. Down and in. .750 the official start time for the first pitch, and the 0-1 is flied to left field, drifting foul into the triple play zone. Massey bats into an 0-2 count. Leyendas donned in their home uniforms with the white front and back, the aquamarine shoulders that run into the sleeves, pink lettering across the chest with the blue numbers out front. Here's a ground ball up the middle, rolls into center field. Craig Massey leads things off with a single here in the first. Caven Brown, the righty on the mound, his last appearance was on August 29th versus the Florence Yalls, where he pitched one full inning, giving up no hits, no runs, one walk, and a strikeout. In 2019 at EKU, he went 8-1 with a 3.06 ERA. Pretty good numbers there. First pitch to the righty, Whiteman, is inside. Throw down to second is wide of the bag as Large came on to cover, but Massey is in there with a stolen base. So no score with nobody out here in the top of the first as Whiteman took that one up and in. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Whiteman batted second in last night's game, going 2 for 4 with a run. Swinging a foul tip into Millian's glove. It's a ball and a strike. Freedom donned in their away uniforms with the black front and back. White lettering across the chest, the red numbers on the back, and, of course, those signature red shoulders that run into the sleeves. Gray pants as well. A ball and a strike to Whiteman. Brown from the stretch. Squares around a bunt, but poked that one foul. And it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Whiteman in last night's game, of course, as I said, going 2 for 4 with a run. He got the first hit of the night in the top of the first. He singled, advanced to second on the walk, and was driven home on the Cesar Trejo three-run homer to open up the scoring for the Freedom. Legends, of course, took the win last night, 11-4 rather, over the Florence Freedom. That one's tipped foul down the third base line. Count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Massey aboard at second. He stole a base on the first pitch to Simon Whiteman. Batting in towards the plate, right-handed stance. Stance is narrow, just in from shoulder width. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on. Driven hard, a chopper to Ellis at third. He spins around at his knees, makes the throw. No, he didn't. Umpire in the field says Little's foot came off the bag. And so runners on the corners now as Craig Massey advanced to third base on that fielder's choice. So tough play there by Ellis at third base. It hopped to him pretty quickly. Caught it at his knees, did a 360, and the first pitch to the lefty Cedillo misses upstairs for a ball, 1-0. So they gave Whiteman the single there. 1-0 pitch to Cedillo. Little dribbler to the left side. Becker over to second for one, over to first, two. Double play. But Massey scores on the fielder's choice. It's 1-0 Freedom.
6, 4, 3, 2.
So Whiteman called out on that 6-4-3. Driven into by Chad Cedillo, who's also called out. Here's Logan Wyatt, the designated hitter. Score is 1-0 Freedom. Massey came home on the fielder's choice. First pitch, righty-lefty matchup, taken downstairs for a called strike one. Caven Brown, the righty on the mound. One of his accolades from his career at EKU, he picked up a win at Vandy, throwing 5 1/3 of scoreless baseball as the 1-0. Dropped low and away, found the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. His total numbers at EKU are 118 2/3 innings pitched, 74 runs, 58 earned as the 1-1 drifts outside the zone, 2 balls and a strike. He walked 52 and struck out 105 total batters. And his last season in 2019, he was on track to definitely get signed somewhere, but of course that UCL injury hindered his success as the 2-1 misses outside, 3 balls and a strike. 2 gone, nobody on. Freedom up 1-0 here in the top of the first. Brown from the windup and the pitch to Wyatt. Taken outside for ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk to the designated hitter. So Wyatt takes first on that 5-pitch walk, and here's the shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. Catcher Mike Millian out to chat with Caven Brown. Millian behind the dish tonight. Cottom would usually play there, but they're giving him a break tonight. He's in the designated hitter spot. Righty-righty matchup now. Fitzgerald readies up on the right side in a wide straightaway stance. First pitch to him. It's a curveball, missed up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Freedom with a man on and 2 gone here in the top of the first inning. Brown with the 1-0. Fly ball, straight away center field. Revere on the run, nearing the track, and he just missed the catch. It rolls to the wall as Wyatt, rounding third base. Tyler Fitzgerald is in with an RBI double. It's 2-0 Freedom. So Fitzgerald puts himself in scoring position, and here is Cesar Trejo, the right fielder. Brown looking in to his catcher Millian as the righty Trejo readies up. Straightaway stance similar to Fitzgerald, who's aboard at second. The first pitch to him. Taken on the outside corner for strike one. Brown, the EKU native, looking into Mike Millian. Comes set, working from the stretch, and the 0-1. This one's poked foul, up in the air, down the right field line, and the count moves to 0-2. It's 2 straight strikes pitched to Cesar Trejo. Trejo appeared in last night's game, going 2 for 4 with a run and 3 RBIs. And in his first at-bat, he jacked a 3-run homer to open up the scoring for the Freedom in the first. Gavin Brown with the 0-2. Called strike 3 downstairs, and the side is retired. Trejo goes down looking, but not before the Freedom put 2 runs on the board to give them the lead here in the top of the first. Leyendas coming up to bat with Ben Revere, Cullen Large, and Drew Ellis. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you as the Freedom just took a 2-0 lead early here in this game over the Leyendas. Get your lineups here for the Leyendas. Leading off and playing center field is Ben Revere. Batting second and playing second, Cullen Large. Third baseman Drew Ellis bats third. Cole Cottom, the DH, batting fourth. Cole Sturgeon bats fifth. He's in left field. Luke Heyer, the right fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh, and at shortstop, Luke Becker. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Webb Little. Batting ninth and doing the catching tonight is Mike Millian. Around the field for the Florence Freedom, E.P. Reese in left field, Brian Dancero in center, Cesar Trejo in right field, and around the horn from third to first for the Freedom, Craig Massey at third base, Tyler Fitzgerald at shortstop, Simon Whiteman at second, and Chad Cedillo at first. Marshall Rich handling the catching duties tonight for the Florence Freedom as Drew Rahm, the lefty, takes the hill tonight for Florence. And Drew Rahm, we've already seen him a couple times here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. In his last showing at the ballpark, he pitched 4 1/3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, walking 3 and striking out 5. So our score is 2-0 Freedom as we enter the bottom of the first. And Rahm, the lefty, comes set, readies up as Rich sets up low and in. The first pitch to Ben Revere, taken downstairs for a strike, 0-1. Ben Revere had an excellent game last night, going 3 for 5. He scored a run, drove in an RBI, and hit a double. Batting .306 coming into tonight's game, the 0-1. That one's tipped off the glove of the rising Rich, and it rolled to the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike. Revere, of course, one of quite a few players here in Lexington during the Battle of the Bourbon Trail, boasting major league experience. He was the first-round pick by the Minnesota Twins in 2007. 1-1 is high, taken for a ball. It's a hitter's 2-1 count to Revere. Drew Rahm on the mound, also no stranger to this ballpark. Battle of the Bourbon Trail aside, he last played for the Delmarva Shorebirds of the South Atlantic League. That's the Baltimore Orioles affiliate. And in 2019, put up some pretty good numbers. 2-1 to Revere. Lifted high in the air to right center field. Dancero and Trejo coming on it, but Dancero called him off and makes the catch, 1 away. So Revere begins his night flying out to center field. Swung on one upstairs from Drew Rahm, who, as I was mentioning, played in the South Atlantic League in 2019, boasting a 2.93 ERA. Lefty-righty matchup now. Cullen Large at the plate. And the first pitch to him. Taken on the outside corner for a called strike one. So besides that 2.93 ERA, 95 and a third innings pitched on the season in 2019 for Rahm, who delivers the 0-1. It's poked foul down the right field line and into the party deck. Gave up 83 hits, 36 runs, 31 of which were earned. He walked 33 and struck out a whopping 122. That's a 3.7 strikeout to walk ratio. 0-2 on that foul ball hit by Cullen Large. And Rahm comes set. Nobody on the bags. 2-0 Freedom here in the bottom of the first with one away. High chopper up the middle. Second baseman Whiteman with the glove on it quickly fires over to first, and it's in time for out number 2. So 2 outs in a row here in the bottom of the first for the Leyendas, and here's Drew Ellis at third base tonight. Drew Ellis, of course, sparkled last night. If you didn't tune in last night, you missed a show as he jacked a grand slam into the left field bleachers. If it had just a little more distance on it, would have gone well over the bleachers. And with 2 gone, he readies up on the right side. Rahm comes forward, and the first pitch taken on the outside corner for strike one. We're seeing Rahm get into his groove, especially against righty hitters with a first pitch down and in. Looks to be an off speed as well. Might try to double up here with Rich low and outside. That one got away from him high, and that'll even up the count at a ball and a strike. Ellis's line score last night read 2 for 5 with 2 runs and 4 RBIs. Of course, 1 run and all 4 of those RBIs coming in on that grand slam. That was his 6th home run on the season. That's between both Legends and Leyendas. He's danced around as he swings and misses at the 1-1 up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tonight is Thirsty Thursday at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, brought to you by Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Dirt cheap beer. Get it here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark on Thursdays. $2 domestic cans and $3 Kentucky Ale products. Thanks to our friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. 1-2 to Ellis. Swing and a miss, down and in. And that will end the inning. Leyendas go down in order. Freedom up 2-0. Top of the second coming your way with E.P. Reese, Brian Dancero, and Marshall Rich. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. My mistake, folks. That one was fouled off. It was deceiving. But hey, at least you know who the next 3 batters are for the Freedom. So ball and 2 strikes as that one down and in was swung on and fouled away by Ellis. So he's still got a chance here as Drew Rahm comes forward with the 1-2. That's up and away. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Walker tuning in on Facebook says, I've seen this guy hit some bombs. And you are correct. 4 out of the 6 rather. Or now 5 out of the 6 been in a Leyendas uniform. This one is lifted high in the air to left field. Coming in on it near the line is Reese, and he puts him away to retire the side. So Leyendas go down in order. Freedom back up to bat as they lead it 2-0 right here on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you as the Leyendas trail the Freedom 2-0. Top of the second inning starts now. E.P. Reese digs in on the left side. Caven Brown already finished an inning of work, and he deals the first pitch low and in, an off-speed pitch, misses the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. E.P. Reese wore the collar last night, striking out 3 times, and he grounded out as well. 1-0, ripped foul down the left field line. That'll even things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Freedom opened up the scoring early in the first inning. Craig Massey got aboard on a single, stole a base, and came home on the 6-4-3 fielder's choice, 1-1. There's a little grounder up the middle, Large to his right to pick it up, and a fire to first for out number 1. Then Logan Wyatt was the second run to score for the Freedom. He walked and was driven in on the Tyler Fitzgerald double. Fitzgerald was stranded as Cesar Trejo struck out looking to end the top of the first. So with Reese away on the 4-3, Brian Dansereau, the center fielder, steps into the box on the right side. Righty-righty matchup. Caven Brown peeping out from behind his black glove, kicks back, kicks up, and fires the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front of that one early. It was a breaker low and away, and the count moves to no balls and a strike. Dansereau took center field last night for the Freedom, going 1 for 3. He hit a single, was stranded, grounded out twice. Staggered stance on the right side, 0-1, called strike 2. Fastball on the outside corner. 93 on the gun from Caven Brown. And he's ready with another one. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Brian Dansereau. One skips away from Million, bounces off the brick wall of the backstop. And that was well inside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last night, the Freedom, of course, put 3 on the board early. The only other run they scored was in the 5th inning on a solo shot from Craig Massey. 2 home runs on the Freedom side of things last night, 3 for the Legends. 1-2, misses down and away. Tried to nick that same outside corner he did on the second strike, but missed a touch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brown with the 2-2 pitch. That's upstairs. Another fastball, misses the zone, and fills up the count at 3-2. Infield set up straight away with a big gap up the middle. Outfield straight away as well. Revere likes to play, I don't want to say shallow center exactly, but he's in closer than your regular outfielder, your center fielder would be. 3-2 is lifted foul down the first base line and well over the rooftop. So Dansereau will battle with 2 strikes at anything near the zone. I mentioned tonight is Thirsty Thursday at the ballpark. It's also Pepsi Bark in the Park night. See a black lab down the third base line as this one's popped up foul over the netting behind home. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Righty Dansereau taking his time out of the box as Brown stretches his arms out. He's now back on the rubber. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder. Brown taking his time with this one. And the payoff pitch. Lifted in the air, drifting towards second base territory. Large setting up shop on the outfield grass, and he puts him away. 2 gone. So after a 4-3 ground out from E.P. Reese, Brian Dansereau battles a bit with a 3-2 count and pops up to Large at second base. So 2 gone, nobody on here in the top of the second inning. Freedom with a 2-0 lead over the Leyendas. Now here's Marshall Rich, the catcher at the bottom of the order. Brown deals the first pitch. Fastball down and away, misses the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Lights beginning to come on here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. 81 degrees. The slight breeze coming in from the southwest. 1 ball, no strikes. Took him outside on the first pitch, inside on the next one that missed the zone. 2 balls, no strikes to Rich. Rich did not play in last night's game. Lucas Owens took the catching duties. He last appeared on September 6th, going 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a single. 2-0. Fastball nicks the outside edge. 2 balls and a strike. Shortstop Becker moving a couple steps to his right, widening the gap up the middle. 2-1. One's ripped foul down the right field line and bounces off the rooftop of the Stables right field line. So now 2s all across the board to the righty Rich. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Revere in center, playing at 15 feet from his left to where he usually stands. The 2-2. Grounder foul down the first base line, rolls into the Leyendas bullpen. Pretty good crowd on hand for this Thirsty Thursday. Always a treat to get that cheap beer. $2 domestic cans, $3 Kentucky Ale products. Of course, presented by Lexington Brewing and Distilling. Brown with the 2-2. Breaker tried to hang it in the zone but missed upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Caven Brown, the Kentucky native. Kentucky born and bred from Paris, Kentucky. A lot of the rosters on this Battle of the Bourbon Trail consist of people born or who have gone to school in Kentucky. As the 3-2 whizzes past Rich's head, it's a walk. That's the second walk of the night given up by Caven Brown. He's only struck out 1 batter. That was Cesar Trejo to end the top of the first. So Rich is aboard at the first base bag as the Freedom hold a 2-0 lead over the Leyendas. Here in the top of the second. Now Craig Massey at the top of the order, who hit a home run last night, as I mentioned earlier. Takes the first pitch up and away. Just missed the top outside corner there, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Massey 1 for 1 with a single back in the first. He came home on the 6-4-3 double play, grounded into by Cedillo. And he takes one on the outer half of the zone, now a ball and a strike. In addition to that home run last night, Massey had a single in the second inning. He struck out, got aboard on an error. A little check back to first as Rich slides back in safely. Massey singled in that second inning last night, as I mentioned, and he was caught stealing on a 2-4 move. On a high pitch to Cole Cottom from Zach Westcott. 1-1, popped up and over the rooftop down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty-righty matchup. Massey having a slightly staggered stance in towards the plate. 1-2. Fly ball, left field, drifting foul, and the count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Massey steps out of the box to tighten his white batting gloves, adjust the brim of his batting helmet. Of course, the black helmets with the Florence Freedom Eagle logo. I believe that's an eagle. 1-2. Liner up the middle over the head of Becker. It rolls into left center. Revere with the glove on it as Rich rounds second and heads into third. He's in there safely. So it's a single for Craig Massey, advancing Marshall Rich to third base. So he's 90 feet away from home plate. Great piece of hitting and well fielded by Ben Revere. Took a great route to the ball and held up Massey at first. So with Massey at first and Rich at third, Simon Whiteman, the second baseman, steps up. In a narrow, staggered stance. A quick move back to first. Did he get him? No, says the umpire in the field. 2 gone, 2 men on, 2-0 Freedom here in the top of the second. Caven Brown looking to get out of this one. He's already given up 2 runs, both of which were earned in the first. Another move back to first base, and Massey's back in, standing up safely. The righty Whiteman still waiting on a pitch. Rotates the bat into his right hand. Slowly lifts it above his right shoulder. First pitch to him. It's taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Whiteman is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled back in the first. Brown working from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Whiteman last night going 2 for 4 with a run. Singled and scored in the first. Flied out, grounded out, and singled his last time up. It was stranded in the 8th. Leyenda's pitchers absolutely rocked it last night as the 2-0 finds the zone outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Westcott got the win with 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs all earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And then the bullpen, consisting of Housechild, Ross, and Lincoln Hensman, walked no batters, struck out 8, and only gave up 1 hit in 4 innings. Called strike 2 on the outside fastball to Simon Whiteman will even things up at 2 apiece. So Leyenda's pitching gave way, of course, to some continued momentum from the bats of the Leyendas. Runners on the corners, 2-2. Check swung on and missed. An outside fastball retires Simon Whiteman. Freedom Strand 2 on the corners. They hold a 2-0 lead over the Leyendas, who are back up to bat in the bottom of the second with the middle of the order. Cole Cottom, Cole Sturgeon, and Luke Heyer. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you as the Leyendas are down 2-0 against the Freedom. Bottom of the second starts now, and leading things off, the DH Cole Cottom. Drew Rahm still on the mound after the Leyendas were put down in order on a fly ball from Revere, a ground out from Cullen Large, and a fly ball from Drew Ellis. And so the middle of the order will take a stab as Cole Cottom, the DH, steps in, closed off narrow stance on the right side. Lefty Drew Rahm comes set with a pitch he likes from Rich, who's set up low and away. And the first one. Nicked the corner down and away, right where he wanted it. No balls and a strike. Cottom, usually behind the dish, has been given a break from defensive responsibilities. He's the DH tonight. In place is Mike Millian. The 0-1. Off speed, got away from Drew Rahm, missed up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cottom in last night's game went 3 for 5 with a run and 3 RBIs. Had a 3-run shot in the 4th. That was to tie the game up. And the 1-1. Wanted to go around on that low breaking ball, but pulled back in time, and the count moves to 2-1. Cottom, of course, a product of the University of Kentucky, and was drafted in 2018 in the 4th round by the Boston Red Sox. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Rahm took him outside with an off-speed, maybe a cut fastball, and got him to chase, and the count is even at 2-2. Cottom had 2 singles as well. He grounded out and struck out last night. This is his first plate appearance. It's a slight shift to the right from the infield. First baseman Cedillo playing closer to the infield grass. And the 2-2. Swung on, grounded just foul down the third base line, and he'll stay alive at 2-2. It is, of course, Thirsty Thursday here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. That means $2 domestic cans and $3 Kentucky ale products, courtesy of our good friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Makers of not only delicious beer, but also Town Branch bourbon. It's about to be bourbon season here in the Bluegrass as the 2-2 misses upstairs, popping out of the glove of Rich. It's 3-2. Those fall nights where it's just cool enough to sit outside, build yourself a nice bonfire and pour yourself a glass of bourbon of choice. Perhaps your bourbon of choice is Town Branch from our friends at the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Payoff to Cottom. Taken up and away for ball 4. So Cottom, first base runner of the night for the Leyendas. That's the first walk of the night from Drew Rahm after facing just 4 batters. So Cottom, as I mentioned, was a 4th-round pick by the Boston Red Sox in 2018, and the guy at the plate now was the 10th-round pick by the Red Sox in 2014. This is Cole Sturgeon. Lefty-lefty matchup now as Cottom takes a short lead off the first base bag. Cedillo there to cover, and the first pitch to Sturgeon. Taken outside. Rich had to move to his left to prevent that one from rolling away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Sturgeon last night versus the Freedom went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, batting .308 in 44 plate appearances on the season. 1 ball, no strikes to the lefty. Rahm working from the stretch in the 1-0. Breaking ball bent into the lower third of the zone, nicked the corner on the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sturgeon, the Owensboro, Kentucky native, attended Owensboro Catholic High School and went on to play at the University of Louisville. He grounds this one to Whiteman at second, who tosses it to Fitzgerald at second for 1, and the throw to first whizzes past Cedillo. It was wide of the bag. And so as Cottom is called out on the 4-6, Sturgeon will advance to second on the throwing error. So it's marked as a fielder's choice and an error by the shortstop Fitzgerald. That's the first error of the game committed by either team. And so with Sturgeon in scoring position, Luke Heyer, the right fielder, steps up to bat. Leyendas trailing the Freedom 2-0. Luke Heyer is the tying run. Righty-lefty matchup now. Rahm keeping a close eye on Sturgeon and delivers the first pitch. A fastball misses the zone high. 1 ball, no strikes. Heyer is he's on the leaderboards for the Leyendas, as he has been for most of this season. He leads in the home run category with 12 of those. Last night he went 0 for 5, which is a rarity from him. He struck out only once. Made good contact with the ball, though. He swings and misses at a breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Late break there. We're leaving things up. Hire, also a product of the University of Kentucky. He was drafted in 2018 in the 8th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers. A ball and a strike. Ron taking his time with this one as he's keeping an eye on Sturgeon at second. Swing and a miss at another outside fastball. Hire came around late on that one, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rom taking his time, working from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hire bats the breeze, 2 gone. That's strikeout number 1 tonight for Drew Rom. Luke Hire sits down, swinging, and Sturgeon waiting patiently at second base to be driven in. Perhaps Luke Becker is the man to do it. Becker and Hire, of course, were drafted in the same year, 2018. They were drafted by teams only about 2 hours apart, driving distance. Becker was drafted by the San Diego Padres in the 9th round. And the first pitch to the righty. Taken on the low outside corner for strike 1. Becker played in last night's game at shortstop, going 0 for 2 with a run. He got on with a walk in the 6th and scored on a Webb Little 2-run homer to right field. Towering shot that landed on the roof of the Pepsi party deck in right. Sturgeon teases a steal. Ron comes forward with the 0-1. It misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Becker coming into tonight's game batting .316. He's had 113 plate appearances, 20 runs, 31 hits, 6 of them RBIs. He's also the stolen base king for the Leyendas with 14. As the 1-1 dips low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Freedom up on the Leyendas, 2-0, with 2 gone and a man on in scoring position here in the bottom of the 2nd. Cole Sturgeon steadily increasing his lead off the second base bag. There's nobody to cover there from the Freedom as the righty Becker waits patiently in a staggered stance for the 2-1 pitch from Rom, and here it is. Up and away. Moves the count to 3-1. Hitter's count to Becker. Luke Becker hails from Fairmont, Minnesota, which is an extremely small town up north, 10,000 people roughly. He attended Fairmont High School and eventually went on to play for the Wildcats. But so far, since being drafted in 2018 by the Padres, he has 2 years of minor league experience between short season A and low A. The 3-1. Taken low and inside, it's a 5-pitch walk to Luke Becker. So is Sturgeon aboard at second. Now 2 men on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. So here's Webb Little at first base tonight for the Leyendas. Also played there last night. Or rather, he was the designated hitter. My apologies. He's played at first base quite a few times, though, in the past week or so. Lefty-lefty matchup. As Rom comes forward with the first pitch, it's a high fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. He's having trouble locating that fastball, especially when the catcher, Rich, calls for it up in the zone. Very surprised, too, against right-handed hitters, although Webb Little is a lefty, that he hasn't made more use of that off-speed low and away that he's seemed to control very well so far this evening. A ball and no strikes to the first baseman, Little. Rom keeping an eye on Sturgeon, who's dancing around the base paths. 1-0. Curveball slowly moving and breaking at the same rate. Bent into the lower third of the zone, down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. Little in last night's game, as I mentioned, was the designated hitter, going 2 for 4, scoring 2 runs and driving in 2. That was on a home run in the 6th. One of 3 home runs hit by Leyenda's players. 1-1, taken upstairs for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Little singled and scored the inning prior. That was in the 5th. He was driven home on the Drew Ellis grand slam. Then he flied out a couple of times. Straightaway stance, just short of shoulder width. He's in the back of the box. 2-1. Up and away. Now 3 balls and a strike. Rom needs to tighten up here. And Little able to relax in a hitter's 3-1. Our score is 2-0 Freedom here in the bottom of the 2nd. Little fouls that one to the screen, and that'll fill it up at 3-2. Legends and Leyendas rather, just announced the postseason activities happening all week long at Whitaker Bank Ballpark next week, beginning with a home run derby at 7 p.m. That's on Wednesday. 3-2, grounder to the first baseman. He picks it up and steps on the bag, and the inning is over. Leyendas strand a pair and put another goose egg in the runs category. Freedom still up 2-0 as we head into the top of the 3rd. Freedom showing Cedillo, Wyatt, and Fitzgerald. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you as the Leyendas just stranded a pair in the bottom of the 2nd, and they're still down against the Freedom 2-0. Top of the 3rd starts now. It's led off by Chad Cedillo, the lefty. Freedom are still facing the righty Caven Brown, who has struck out 2 and given up 2 runs that were earned on 4 hits. He's walked a pair as well. First pitch taken low and inside for a ball to Chad Cedillo. Cedillo batted in the first run of this game, grounding into a 6-4-3 double play in the first as he wanted to go around on an outside fastball, but pulled back in time. 2 balls, no strikes. So Cedillo 0 for 2, but still a run batted in. Craig Massey came home to score the first run of the game for the Freedom. Straightaway infield, same with the outfield, and the 2-0 to Cedillo. It's a little dribbler to the left side, fair down the line. Ellis with the one-hand scoop, the throw to first, not in time. They'll still award Cedillo the single there, as that was a slow-moving ground ball. Ellis had a good route to it, but the path down to the lane down to the first base bag, I should say. It was a bit as he was on the run. And so Cedillo leads things off with a single here in the 3rd. Logan Wyatt, the DH. Lefty-righty matchup now. Brown from the stretch. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. 0-1. Foul tip, rather. Sometimes you can hear the foul tip, sometimes you can't. When it's unclear, of course, you got the home plate umpire there to make the sign for you. So it was a foul tip. 0-1. Cedillo with a lead off the first base bag. Little there to cover. 0-1. Check swung on one to the outside. In the green, it's quickly 0-2. Infield a double play depth with Chad Cedillo on first. He had a dribbler to the left side to get on. Logan Wyatt quickly finds himself in a 0-2 count. The lefty readies up in the 0-2. Line drive right into the reaching glove of Little, who steps on the bag. It's a double play. The liner right at Little. All he had to do was throw his glove in the air. The ball landed perfectly. And Cedillo looked back to come into the first base bag. Uh-oh, it's over. So it's an unassisted double play by the first baseman, Webb Little. Great defending there, and so 2 quick outs here. As Logan Wyatt hit into that one, and so Tyler Fitzgerald takes his place on the right side as time is called. Steps back in. Slightly open stance. Just beyond shoulder width. The first pitch to him. It was a bouncer on an off-speed pitch that got away from Brown, low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Fitzgerald 1 for 1 with a double and an RBI. Back in the first, he doubled to bring home Logan Wyatt. Slightly knees bent. 1-0. Misses the corner low. 2 balls and no strikes. Fitzgerald sat out last night's game as he takes one inside. 3 balls, no strikes. He last appeared for the Freedom on the 6th here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, where he hit a home run and singled and scored as well. So 2 runs, 2 hits on that night for him. He swings and misses at the 3-1. Beautiful curveball from Caven Brown. So he needed that strike, and it's 3-1. With 2 gone, nobody on the bags here in the top of the 3rd. Freedom up on the Leyendas, 2-0. The 3-1 delivery. The breaker skipped away from Millian, yet it's a 5-pitch walk to Tyler Fitzgerald. So Cesar Trejo will step in on the right side. Tyler Fitzgerald took that walk. Straightaway stance in towards the plate in the back of the box for the righty Trejo. Brown comes set, working from the stretch now. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's high. The throw down to second is not in time. Fitzgerald just beat out the throw, and the count moves to 1-0 on Trejo. So it's a stolen base for Fitzgerald. It's the 2nd stolen base by the Florence Freedom. Craig Massey stole first after hitting a single in the top of the 1st. 1 ball, no strikes to Trejo, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 1st inning. Takes one outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Trejo, of course, his last time up ended the early scoring by the Freedom. Massey came home on the fielder's choice. Wyatt came home on that Fitzgerald double. Fitzgerald now at second base. 2-0. It's poked foul. It's drifting up and over the rooftop behind us here in the press box, and the count moves to 2-1. Lights coming into fuller effect here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the sun slowly says its goodbyes. Caven Brown readies up, glove at the waist. Peeks back at Fitzgerald on second, the 2-1. Ground ball hit hard to Ellis at third. He sets and throws on over to first, and the side is retired. So the Freedom strand a runner, score no runs on 1 hit. Leyenda's back up to bat with Mike Millian, Ben Revere, and Colin Large in the bottom of the third as they trail the Freedom 2-0. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you. Bottom of the third inning starts now. Mike Millian will lead off for the Leyendas, who trail the Florence Freedom 2-0. Drew Rahm, the lefty, still on the mound. He struck out one batter and walked two through 2 innings of work. Has yet to give up a hit. The only thing close to it was a Cole Sturgeon fielder's choice. It would have been a double play, but a throwing error by Fitzgerald advanced him to second base. And here's a grounder to short. Fitzgerald with it, and he redeems himself. No! The throw was low and away from the target set by Cedillo in the dirt. And it's another error from Tyler Fitzgerald. Millian aboard at first. So routine ground ball hit into by Mike Millian. Resulted in an errant throw from the shortstop Fitzgerald, and so Millian's aboard with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. And we're back to the top of the order for the Leyendas. Ben Revere at center field takes his place in the box for the second time this evening. Lefty-lefty matchup now as Millian takes a short lead off the bag at first. Cedillo there to cover. Rahm, the lefty, with a direct line if he wants to pick him off, but instead delivers the first pitch low and away to Revere. 1 ball, no strikes. Came out of the gate with a slider, it looked like. Tried to paint the corner and missed. Revere, the lefty at the plate, is 0 for 1. He flied out to center field in the first. That was to lead things off for the Leyendas. The 1-0 pitch. Check swung on, another one outside. Looked like a slider that time, too. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Revere pulled back in time. Revere, as I mentioned earlier, had a killer night last night, going 3 for 5 with a run, an RBI, and a double. And his performance last night broke 300 on his batting average. He came into the game with a 306. 2-0, runner goes. This is lined into right center field. It gets down in front of Trejo. Millian rounding the second base bag, heading into third as Trejo throws it into the infield. And Ben Revere is aboard with his first hit of the night. Millian advancing to third. He's 90 feet away from home plate. Revere, I should have mentioned the tying run for the Leyendas as they are down 2-0 against the Freedom. Excellent piece of hitting to the right center field gap. Trejo and Dancero in right and center respectively, both going after it. Watched him drop in front of him near the track. We've got runners on the corners as the second baseman, Cullen Large, steps into the batter's box. Switch hitter Cullen Large, batting from the right side now, facing the lefty Rahm. Still nobody out. First pitch to Large, taken on the outside downstairs. for a called strike one. Large is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded into a 4-3 putout back in the first. Last night went 1 for 4. This one's fouled away down the third base line, 0-2. Excuse me, 2 for 4, rather. Had a pair of singles, 2 runs. Was driven home on both the Cottom home run and the Drew Ellis home run in the 4th and 5th innings, respectively. So he readies back up in a staggered stance in toward the plate. Rom comes set, glove at the waist. 0-2 to the second baseman, Large. And here's the pitch. Line foul down the right field line. Large, the 5th round pick by the Toronto Blue Jays in 2017. He signed with them for a $302,000 signing bonus. It's worth more than my life. No balls and 2 strikes to the Jays prospect. One's high and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Large has had 3 years of minor league baseball experience under his belt, from rookie ball ranging all the way to Double-A. And he's slashed decent numbers in the minor leagues, .266 average with a .355 on base percentage and a .403 slugging percentage. 1-2. Foul ball up and over the netting. Bounces off the top border along one of the suites here to the right of us at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. So he keeps himself alive on that foul ball. The count is 1-2. Righty-lefty matchup. Colin Large waiting patiently for the 1-2 pitch. Runners on the corners. Revere at first. Mike Millian on third. Freedom up 2-0 on the Leyendas with nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The 1-2. Line drive. Center field. Dancero coming in on it. He lets it bounce in front of him as Millian tags up and will score the first run of the game. It's now 2-1 Freedom as Revere is in at second base, and Large, with a nice bloop shot to shallow center field, has himself aboard now here in the bottom of the 3rd. Still nobody out. Now 2 runners on. So that's a run batted in for Colin Large. He's got 10 on the season now. That was his 14th hit as well. Mike Millian came around to score. That's his 9th run on the season. Now here's the righty Drew Ellis. And if Drew Ellis has any of the same mojo he had in him last night, we could see a long ball. First pitch to the righty. Taken low and outside. Nicked the corner downstairs for a strike. 0-1. Ellis tonight is 0 for 1. He flied out to left field back in the first. And as he gives the plate a tap and the batter rotation into his right hand, Rom comes set, glove at the waist, working from the stretch. And he deals the 0-1. Popped up foul over the rooftop behind us here in the press box. It's 0-2. Ellis has spent, as I mentioned, time between both the Leyendas and Legends rosters this season. And he's been extremely successful locating his pitch and driving it deep, more so with the Leyendas than the Legends. 0-2. Lifted high in the air, deep to right center field. Trejo and Dancero going after it. Get up! Get up! It bounces off the top of the wall. 2 runners heading around the third base bag as Trejo guns it into the cutoff. The throw to home is not in time. Leyendas take a 3-2 lead. And Ellis is aboard with a double that bounced off the wall in right center field. Unbelievable piece of hitting from Drew Ellis to give the Leyendas a 3-2 lead with still nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Revere came around to score. Large followed him close behind, and man, Ellis just smoked that ball. Perfectly located, hit the very top of the wall. If it had a little more height, would have been out of here. But nevertheless, Leyendas have a 3-2 lead, and here's the DH, Cole Cottom. Rom still working from the stretch with a runner on second. Moving around along the base paths. First pitch. Short grounder down the third base line. Massey picks it up, scoops it on the run. With the throw not in time to the first base bag. A tough grab there for the third baseman, Massey, on that dribbler down the third base line. Couldn't get the throw off in time. They'll give Cottom the hit there. And Ellis remains at second base. So meeting on the mound between the Florence Freedom manager and the pitcher Drew Rom. Catcher Marshall Rich also out to discuss things. Every single Leyendas batter in this inning so far has gotten on base. Mike Millian got aboard with a throwing error. He was driven to third on a Ben Revere single. Cullen Large had a single as well, advancing Revere there. Revere and Large then came home on the Drew Ellis double. And Ellis holds up at second base on that Cottom single. It was a dribbler down the third base line. So meeting adjourned on the mound. Leyendas up 3-2. They've taken the lead here in the bottom of the third. Still nobody out. And Cole Sturgeon, the left fielder, steps in on the left side. Working a narrow stance, knees slightly bent. Opens himself up toward the pitcher, Rom. And the first pitch. Taken right down the middle, a fastball, 0-1. Sturgeon got aboard his last time up on an error by the shortstop, Fitzgerald. They gave him the fielder's choice as it would have been turned to double play. Cottom was called out on the 4-6, but the throwing error wide of the bag from Fitzgerald advanced Sturgeon to second base. This one's poked foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-2. So Sturgeon keeping himself loose outside of the box. Steps back in now on the left side. The lefty Rom taking his time discussing things with the catcher Marshall Rich. Ellis on second, Cottom on first. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. The 0-2 pitch. This is lined hard but foul into the party deck down the right field line. That was a screamer. There are quite a few fans hanging out down there on this beautiful Thursday evening. It's Thirsty Thursday here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. $2 domestic cans, $3 Kentucky Ale products, courtesy of our friends at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Sturgeon waiting patiently with an 0-2 count. Rom comes set, keeping an eye on Ellis at second base. Looks back again, a third time, and now comes forward with the 0-2. Breaking ball, missed the zone. Looked low and outside there, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sturgeon back in now, Rom talking with Rich. Dictating the pace of the game, choosing his pitches carefully. Still with nobody out. He'll likely go down and away here. 1-2. It's popped up over the rooftop behind home plate. That one was up and away. Sturgeon got a piece of it. Sturgeon's rocking the red and white batting gloves. Those colors, of course, one could reasonably infer representative of his minor league organization, the Boston Red Sox. Was picked in 2014 by the Red Sox and last played for the Portland Sea Dogs, their AA affiliate up in Portland, Maine. Former Legends broadcaster Emma Tiedemann up there as the 1-2 is fouled back. Sturgeon stays alive. Sturgeon, as I mentioned earlier, went 1 for 4 in last night's game. He singled and was stranded in the 7th inning. He struck out twice, both swinging, and he grounded out into an unassisted play at first base. He's got 5 RBIs on the season, 12 hits, 5 runs. 3-2 Leyendas here in the bottom of the third. Still nobody out, 2 runners on. Drew Rahm comes set as time is called by Sturgeon at the plate. We'll do a little dance and step back in quickly. A 2-tone bat, dark brown on the barrel and natural finish on the handle. It's a good looking hammer. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the pitch. Lifted in the air to right field. Trejo coming in on it near the track, makes the catch and quickly throws into the infield to hold the runners at first and second. That was a beautiful throw, actually, right into the glove of Massey at third base. Not that it would have mattered, but got to give credit where credit is due. That was an accurate throw. That would have been a pressing situation with the runners coming in. Depending on the speed of the runner, I think that would have been a 9-5 putout. Something you don't see all the time. So 1 away on that fly ball from Cole Sturgeon. And here's Luke Heyer, the right fielder. Rahm with the first one to him. Low and in. Rich made a swift move to his left to prevent that one from rolling away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Heyer in right field tonight is 0 for 1. He was a victim of the swinging strikeout back in the second inning. Heyer last night wore the collar, striking out once, flying out 3 times, and grounding out once. Knees bent, hunched over stance on the right side, looks at the 1-0. Dip low and in. And he's looking at a 2-0 count. Runners on first and second for the Leyendas with 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Heyer readies up, opens his stance. Lefty Drew Rahm ready with a pitch. He's got the glove at the waist, that front foot forward a little bit. Ellis teasing a steal from second as the 2-0 is delivered up and away. 3-0. Rahm called his bluff there. So 3 balls in a row to the righty Luke Heyer. Heyer, 23 years old, out of Lithia, Florida. It's a suburb of Tampa. So he grew up in Rays country. Attended Durant High School there and went on to play for the University of Kentucky. 3-0, misses just a touch outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Heyer. That'll load up the bases. So Heyer is succeeded by his former University of Kentucky teammate Luke Becker, also a right-handed hitter, and at shortstop tonight for the Leyendas. Wipes some dirt away from in front of him on the righty batter's box. Drew Rahm toes the rubber after wiping some sweat from his brow, stretching his arms out, keeping himself loose. As this is a big at-bat here with only 1 away and runners on all bags. Rahm with the first offering. Breaking ball, tried to nick the lower third down the middle, but missed in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Becker had his first appearance back in the second and walked. But he was stranded after Little grounded into an unassisted play at first as the 1-0 misses up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Luke Becker readies up, opens up his stance on the right side. Ducks on the pond, 1 away, 3-2 Leyendas. As the 2-0 misses up and away, 3 balls, no strikes. If Becker takes a ball here, Leyendas take a 4-2 lead. And Drew Rahm will likely come out of the game. There's some activity in the Freedom bullpen down the left field line. Clock just past 8 o'clock here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, and there's ball 4 to Luke Becker as Drew Ellis will jog it into home plate, and the Leyendas are up 4-2 over the Freedom here in the bottom of the third. So with Becker drawing the walk, Heyer advances to second, Cottom advances to third, Drew Ellis scores, and that brings up Webb Little, the first baseman, hitting from the left side. Rahm with the first offering. It's line foul. Pinballs off the front of the awning down the third base line, and it bounces into the bare hand grasp of a fan. It looks like he's drinking one of those $2 domestic cans. On sale every Thursday here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, thanks to our friends at the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. It snowballs in a strike to the lefty Webb Little, and Rahm has a pitch he likes. The 0-1 from the stretch. Another liner into the seats. A little lower than that last foul ball, but two souvenirs in a row make it 0-2 to Little. So as Little takes some time to readjust outside the batter's box, Rahm discussing with Rich. Score is 4-2 Leyendas here in the bottom of the third with only one out. Ducks on the pond here for the Leyendas. Yeah, the 0-2 delivery. Liner up the middle, lands in center field. Cottom comes home. Heyer's just behind him. There's a throw to the infield, and it's not going to matter as a Webb Little single to first base drives into single to center field, drives into. And the land is now up 6-2 here in the bottom of the third, and we're sure to have a pitching change here as the infield creeps into the pitching mound. We'll tally up the numbers for Drew Rahm and get your info on the new pitcher. Land is up 6-2. Back in a moment here on the Legends Broadcast Network. Drew Rahm has been retired after 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 5 hits, earned 6 runs, walked 4 batters, and struck out 1. As Mike Millian sets up on the right side, new pitcher is Jonathan Tripp. And he deals the first one to Millian. It's taken on the low outside corner for strike 1. Tripp standing at 6'4", weighing in at 190 pounds, out of Spring, Texas. 6-2 Leyendas with one away here in the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss at a fastball low and away. It's 0-2. So Millian being tested on the low outside corner with an off speed and a fastball. And it's quickly 0-2. As Tripp comes set, glove at chest level, he deals the 0-2. It's poked foul up and over the rooftop down the first base line. Mike Millian at the plate. Greetings and well wishes to Joyce Millian, watching in from O'Fallon, Missouri. Nothing at 2 to Mike Millian. Wide open stance on the left side. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to the left side. Third baseman Massey to second for 1, over to first 2. That double play will end the inning. It's a 5-4-3 as the Leyendas take the lead. They put 5 runs on the board here in the, 6 runs rather, on the board here in the third inning. They lead at 6-2. Freedom back up to bat in the top of the fourth. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Leyendas just put 6 runs on the board in the bottom of the third to give them the lead 6-2 over the Florence Freedom. E.P. Reese will lead things off here in the top of the fourth inning. And Caven Brown still on the mound through 3 innings, now beginning his fourth. And he delivers the first pitch. It's a fastball that skips behind Millian in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Millian, of course, the last at-bat for the Leyendas, ended the inning, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. 1-0. Fastball up and away, just missed the corner. 2 balls, no strikes. E.P. Reese, the lefty, facing the righty Brown. Reese is 0 for 1 with a 4-3 ground out in the second. As Brown from the windup comes forward with the 2-0. Misses the corner up and away. He's trying real hard on that off-speed fastball to hit that corner, possibly get E.P. Reese to chase, but I think he knows better. And it's evidenced by the 3-0 hitters count with nobody on, nobody out. Slight shift of the infield, in depth rather, as the right side of the infield playing on the fringe of the grass there. There's a strike on the inner half. 3 balls and a strike to Reese. Reese readies up, hoisting the bat above his left shoulder. Open stance, knees bent, 3-1. This one's popped up and over the rooftop behind home plate, and it's a full 3-2 count to the hitter, E.P. Reese. Revere out about 5 feet to his right than where he normally likes to play behind the second base bag. 3-2 taken low and in for ball 4, and Reese leads things off with a walk. So with Reese aboard at first base, Brian Dancero, the center fielder, will make his way into the batter's box, hitting from the right side. Caven Brown hunched in towards Millian, gives him the nod, drops the glove to his waist. First pitch, found the outer half in the green there, 0-1. Dancero flied out his first time up in the second inning. He is 0 for 1. Brown from the stretch, and now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to take a hard cut on that one outside, and it's quickly 0-2. Leyenda's up 6-2 over the Freedom with nobody out and one man on here at the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss on the 0-2 to Dancero. He bats the breeze, one away. That's the third strikeout on the night for Caven Brown. His first was to Cesar Trejo in the first to end the inning. Second was to Simon Whiteman to end the inning. And Brian Dancero bats the breeze and sits down. Marshall Rich, the catcher. Takes one on the low outside corner for strike one. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on foul, back to the screen. It's 0-2. Rich walked and was stranded at first, his first time up in the second. Greg Massey had a shot to advance him 2 bases. Righty-righty matchup. Rich in a shoulder width straightaway stance. 0-2 runner goes. It's a grounder up the middle. Becker with the glove on it. A bounce throw to first in time for out number 2. E.P. Reese advances to second on the fielder's choice. He got an early jump on that 0-2 pitch, and of course anything that looked like contact he was going to run on anyway. And a great grab and defensive awareness there by Luke Becker, who picked it up on the run near the grass of shallow center field. He already knew that Reese had gotten the early jump on that 0-2, so he was going right to first with it as this one skips away in the dirt from Millian, but he picks it up just in time to hold E.P. Reese at second base. Count moves to 1-0 to Craig Massey in his third plate appearance of the night. Leyenda's up 6-2. 2 gone and a man on for the Freedom here in the top of the fourth. 1-0 count to the lefty, Craig Massey. The pitch. Breaker misses outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Massey 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a run. He scored that one back in the first. It was the first of the game. Caven Brown from the stretch keeps an eye on Reese at second. Now comes with the 2-0. There's a called strike one on a fastball in the lower third down the middle, 2-1. Sun is pretty much set here in the Bluegrass. Lights are in full effect. It's a beautiful night for baseball, 79 degrees with a slight breeze out of the southwest, 2-1. Curveball missed low and away Grip got away from Brown there, and it's 3 balls and a strike. As E.P. Reese at second takes a hefty lead off the bag. 3-1 from Brown. There's ball 4. Missed a touch on the outside, and it's a 5-pitch walk to advance Massey to first base. He's had 3 plate appearances tonight so far. He's reached first on all of them. So now here's Simon Whiteman. Righty-righty matchup now. Brown still working from the stretch. Leyenda's leading 6-2 over the Freedom here in the top of the 4th. The first pitch from Brown. Nicks the low outside corner. A fastball. 0-1. Probably a 2-seamer there. We've seen Caven Brown's 4-seam velocity hit 93 max this evening. 0-1. Grounded foul down the third base line. It's quickly 0-2. Brown steps off the rubber, picks up and drops the rosin bag. Gives his arms a stretch and now toes the rubber on the rightmost half. Rightmost half, of course, if you're facing him from behind home plate. If you're the runner Reese on second base, it's his left. 0-2. Swing and a miss on a breaker to the outside. And the Freedom strand 2. But Whiteman bats the breeze to end things, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. Leyenda's showing Ben Revere, Cullen Large, and Drew Ellis. They're up 6-2. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you. 6-2 is our score. Leyenda's with the lead. They're back up to bat here in the bottom of the 4th, led off by Ben Revere. First pitch to him taken upstairs for a ball. 93 miles an hour on the gun from Jonathan Tripp, who came in for one at-bat. Mike Millian grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 to Revere. Swing and a miss. Got him on the low fastball to the outside corner, 1-1. Leyenda's put up 6 runs on the board. They strung together a series of advantageous offensive opportunities and took the lead over the Freedom. They worked Drew Rahm to just 2 1/3 innings of work. Gave up 5 hits, all 6 earned runs. Swing and a miss on the 1-1, low and in. It's 1-2 to Revere now. Revere scored one of those 6 runs in the third. He singled and was brought home on an RBI double by Drew Ellis, the third baseman. So nobody out, nobody on. Revere still leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth. He opens up his stance on the left side. The righty trip comes set, fires the 1-2. Fastball, 94 miles an hour on the gun, misses the zone on the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Revere with that single and run is 1 for 2 on the night. He singled and scored, of course, in the third and flied out to center back in the first. The 2-2. Lifted in the air, trailing foul down the third baseline, and it'll roll off the rooftop. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the center fielder, Lexington native Ben Revere. Revere attended Lexington Catholic High School. Of course, spent quite a bit of time in the major leagues, having been drafted by the Twins in the first round in 2007. 2-2. Inside fastball, misses the zone. No, it's a called strike 3. That was way inside. Oh well, Revere goes down looking. That looked like it might have been deceiving there. It had a lot of inside movement. But it's a called strike 3, and Revere is sat down. He's now 1 for 3 this evening. First strikeout of the night for Tripp. Here's Colin Large, switch hitting now lefty. The first pitch to him, a fastball, 95 miles an hour, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Large was part of the train of runs that came in the third. He singled and was brought home on the Drew Ellis double. 1-0. Fastball missed up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. 91 miles an hour on the gun there, possibly a 2-seamer from the righty Tripp, who's hunched in toward Rich. Comes set, got his front foot staggered. 2-0. There's an inside called strike 1. Again, home plate umpire here liking the strikes on the inside. So it's 2-1. Nobody on the bags, 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Leyenda's up 6-2 on the Freedom. Tripp with the 2-1. Fastball runs outside, moves the count to 3-1. So Large doubled and scored in the third and grounded into a 4-3 put out in the first. He's 1 for 2 this evening. Slightly open stance, shoulder width, in towards the plate on the left side, 3-1. That runs inside. It's a 5-pitch walk. Colin Large is aboard. So Large with a base on balls, and here's Drew Ellis, the second baseman. Ellis, the righty. See, a lot of guys open up their stance nowadays. It allows a lot of guys to locate better. But not Drew Ellis. Drew Ellis is straight away. Middle depth in the box, no games. He doesn't even bend the knees. First pitch, off speed, called strike 1 on the outside corner. He doesn't bend his knees until he begins his approach. So as the pitch is being thrown, 0-1. Called strike 2 on the corner again, that time a fastball. So he said same location, but I'm bringing the heat. 93 miles an hour on that one to Ellis. Ellis doubled and scored in the third and flied out to left in the first. He's got 2 runs batted in on the evening, bringing home Revere and Large on that third inning double. 0-2, swing and a miss on the outside off speed. And Drew Ellis bats the breeze, 2 gone. How about this? Adalberto Mondesi just hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 8th inning, and the Royals have extended their lead over the Indians 11-0. It's the second big lead I've seen in the major leagues all day. The Cardinals took down the Detroit Tigers 12-2. Not sure if they played a doubleheader or not. And then, of course, as a swing and a miss at the first one to Cottom, 0-1. Of course, yesterday, the Atlanta Braves put up 29 runs on the Miami Marlins. Final score was 29-9. Large with the lead off the first base bag, 0-1, swing and a miss again. Doubled up on the same pitch, same location. Cottom's down with 2 strikes. 6-2 Leyendas here in the bottom of the fourth. Not quite as towering of a lead as some of our friends in the major leagues, but a lead nonetheless, and a lead they've held on to since last inning. One's up and away, waste pitch, moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Cottom singled and scored. That was in the third. He walked and was called out on a 4-6 fielder's choice in the second. So he's 1 for 1. 1-2 on the way. One missed the low outside corner. Count is even at 2-2 to the DH Cole Cottom. Stands his bat on his thigh. Adjusts his batting gloves. Looks like some silver and blue gloves there. Maybe some gear from his days at UK. 2-2. Foul to the screen. Two balls, 2 strikes now to Cole Cottom as he fouled that one to the screen. Score is 6-2 Leyendas over the Freedom here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 runner on, 2 men gone. Time is called. Tripp steps off the rubber. And some more Royals news. Royals righty Brady Singer, Lexington legend native, swing and a miss on the 2-2. The inning is over. Brady Singer is on a no-hitter watch through 7 innings versus the Indians. Hopefully he'll continue that. But that swinging strikeout is the 3rd of the night for Jonathan Tripp, and the 3rd here in the inning, as Cullen Large is stranded on the bags. Leyenda's still up 6-2. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Freedom showing Cedillo, Wyatt, and Fitzgerald. Baseball back in a moment. Leyenda's with a 6-2 lead. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, 6-2 Leyendas as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Chad Cedillo will lead things off. Haven Brown is retired after 4 innings of work. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs that were earned, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Zach Hurley delivers the first one. It's chopped to the right side. Little with the glove on it, and the cover to first as the toss is just a bit high. It was a race to the bag there by between Zach Hurley and Chad Cedillo. Was close if the throw was accurate, but the toss was just too high from Webb Little. So Cedillo is aboard with, I think they may give him the hit there. So a single to lead things off here in the fifth. Zach Hurley, the righty, now facing the lefty Logan Wyatt, the DH. Little with a cover at first. As the first pitch to Wyatt is taken inside for strike one. Cedillo had a lead off the bag there, as is expected. Hurley, 13 2/3 innings pitched so far this season. He's given up 26 hits, walked 6, and struck out 12. 0-1 misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Logan Wyatt, the DH, is 0 for 1. He grounded into he lined into an unassisted play at first base, resulted in a double play. Chad Cedillo is too far off the base. All Little had to do was step on the bag after picking the liner out of the sky. Oh, 1 pitch. Line drive. Oppo Taco down the left field line. Bounces into the glove of Sturgeon. 2 singles in a row for the Freedom to get things started here in the fifth. So Cedillo at second, Wyatt at first. Here's Tyler Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has reached base twice tonight. He doubled his first time up to drive in run number 2 for the Freedom. Logan Wyatt scored on that double. Fitzgerald walked and stole a base back in the third. First one to him, ripped in the air. Back to left field. Sturgeon makes the catch at the wall, and he guns it into Ellis at third base to hold Wyatt and Cedillo on the bags. One away on a fly ball to left field from Tyler Fitzgerald. If that one had a little more power behind it, it would have been gone. And we would have had a 1-run ball game as the Leyendas still with a 6-2 lead over the Freedom here in the top of the fifth. Hurley taking his time with a pitch from Million. Gives him the nod, now comes set in the stretch. First pitch. Off speed, misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes to Cesar Trejo. Zach Hurley, the righty, facing the righty. Trejo 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a ground out. Here's the 1-0. Breaker misses near the dirt. Million had to back up there to keep it in front of him. And the count is 2 balls, no strikes. Hurley pitched at the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky and had a career 28-8 record, 2-0. Fastball missed the outside corner downstairs, 3 balls in a row to Trejo. He was the 2019 MSC Pitcher of the Year. Through 81 2/3 innings pitched, led the team in strikeouts with 84. He had 8 wins and through 5 complete games. Called strike 1 on the outer half, 3 balls and a strike to Cesar Trejo. Zach Hurley is the all-time strikeout leader at the University of the Cumberlands. 3-1. There's another strike. Fills up the count. Same pitch, same location. Nice fastball located well on the outside corner. Exactly the command and control that Hurley needs to at least get even now in this count with 2 runners on and 1 away. 3-2. One missed a hair downstairs, and that'll walk Cesar Trejo to first base and load up the bags here in the top of the fifth. A lefty-righty matchup now as Trejo is walked. E.P. Reese readies up. First pitch, chopped foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. (6-2) the score in favor of the Leyendas with one away and ducks on the pond here in the fifth. Hurley with the 0-1, misses upstairs, now a ball and a strike. Hurley from the stretch, chopped down the first base line, just foul. Or fair, rather. Well, was iffy for sure. Didn't get a direct call from the home plate umpire there. And so the score is now 6-3. Leyendas on top on an RBI single by E.P. Reese. Chad Cedillo came home to score there. Wyatt advanced to third. Trejo is at second base. First pitch, swing and a miss to Brian Dansereau. Got him to chase there with the outside changeup, 0-1. Those on the fence ground balls can sneak right past you. That one snuck past yours truly. So 6-3 now here in the top of the fifth. Breaker misses downstairs and evens things up at a ball and a strike. Ball and a strike. Hurley gives Millian the nod. He's set up low. The 1-1. That's tipped to the backstop, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Brian Dansereau, the righty at the plate, is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the fourth and flied out to second base back in the second inning. The 1-2 pitch. Missed a touch, low and in. Tried to paint the back door there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dansereau, the righty, rocking the brace on his left ankle. Staggers his stance in towards the ditch. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a fastball low and outside. 2 gone. Strikeout number 1 on the night for Zach Hurley, and that adds to his season total. He's now got 13 on the year. So 2 gone as Dansereau hacks and misses. And here's Marshall Rich, the catcher. Rich at the bottom of the order in his third plate appearance of the night. 6-3 Leyendas, Ducks on the pond for the Freedom. First pitch called strike 1 on an off-speed down and away. 0-1 to Rich. Rich grounded into a 6-3 in the fourth and walked and was stranded at second. Was driven into third on a long single from Craig Massey, 0-1. Swing and a miss, another changeup low. He's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Zach Hurley looking to close this one out and bring the Leyendas back up to bat in the bottom of the fifth. Hurley dictating the pace of the game here, talking with Millian for a sign. He's got one he likes. As he staggers his front foot, drops the glove to his waist, 0-2. He went around, check swung on an outside fastball, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in a row from Zach Hurley will strand runners on all the bags for the Florence Freedom, who trail the Leyendas 6-3. Leyendas back up to bat in the bottom of the fifth with Sturgeon, Heyer, and Becker. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Second side, Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Leyenda's up 6-3 over the Freedom. They put one run on the board back in the top of the fifth. Chad Cedillo scored on the RBI single by E.P. Reese. So 6-3 game with the Leyendas in front as Cole Sturgeon swings at the first pitch, fouls it onto the rooftop behind home plate. Took a while to drop there. It seemed like it was in the air forever. A major league pop-up indeed for the left fielder, Cole Sturgeon. He reached on a fielder's choice and an error by the shortstop Fitzgerald back in the second inning. Would have been a 4-6-3 double play, but the throw from Fitzgerald was wide as Sturgeon takes low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. So as the throw was wide of the bag, Sturgeon was awarded second base, and he flied out to right field his last time up in the third. 1-1 to him. Popped up, might be playable. No, it's drifting over the netting behind home plate. And a lucky fan's got a souvenir. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cole Sturgeon. There's a group of enthusiastic Leyendas fans here tonight. They seem to be enjoying Thirsty Thursdays, presented by Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. All domestic cans are $2. Kentucky Ale products are, oh my goodness, are $3, as that ball was lined into the seats, skipped over the dugout, and luckily nobody was in the path of that one, but it certainly came close. That startled me for sure. Can only imagine how those folks down the first baseline field, probably a little shaken up, but glad to see that nobody got hurt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sturgeon. Just popped up over the roof down the third baseline, and it's still 1-2. 6-3 Leyendas. Nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the fifth. Andrew Murphy with you. Thanks for tuning in on PrepSpin.com and the Legends Broadcast Network, wherever you're watching, through Facebook, Twitter, Periscope. 1-2 pitch to Sturgeon. Popped up again over the third base line rooftop. Jonathan Trapp, the righty, still on the mound. He came in at the very end of the third inning, pitching into a 5-4-3 double play, grounded into by Mike Milley, and he came back into the fourth and struck out 3 batters while walking Cullen Large and stranding him. So a good night so far. Swing and a miss. There's a 4th strikeout. It's time to Cole Sturgeon, who batted the breeze. 1 gone. Strikeout number 4 for Jonathan Tripp, rather. Jonathan Tripp, the righty. Of course, replaced Drew Rahm, who at the end of 2 1/3, his line score read 5 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks and 1 strikeout. Here's the righty, Luke Heyer. First baseman Cedillo playing toward the grass on the infield as Heyer takes one downstairs, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Heyer is 0 for 1 tonight. He walked and scored in the third. His first time up, he struck out swinging back in the second inning. Staggered stance, knees bent, slightly hunched in toward the plate, 0-1. Swing and a miss. Waved at a high fastball away, 95 miles an hour from Tripp, and it's 0-2. Heyer, the product of the University of Kentucky, was drafted in 2018 by the Los Angeles Dodgers, rather. 0-2. Wanted to swing on that outside fastball again, but he did not go around. Pulled back in time, and it's 1-2. 96 on the gun that time from Tripp. He's bringing the heat, as he should. Leyendas are up 6-3 on the Freedom. Nobody on the base paths, 1 away. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a beautiful changeup low and away. Strikeout number 5, the 4th in a row for Jonathan Tripp. Sturgeon and Heyer both down on the swinging strikeout, and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Heyer was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2018, and this next guy was drafted in the same year by the San Diego Padres. These two were picked just one round apart. He takes the first one low and away for strike one. Becker was drafted, of course, by the San Diego Padres. He's 2 hours away from his former Kentucky teammate, Luke Heyer. 0-1 to the lefty. Called strike two on a low fastball, 94. Tripp is not fooling around in this bottom of the fifth inning, as Luke Becker is behind in an 0-2 count. Two gone, nobody on the bags. Leyendas with a 6-3 lead. The open stance Becker. 0-2 pitch, skied, foul territory down the left field line, well over the rooftop, and he'll remain alive for at least one more pitch. Becker has reached base twice, both on walks. He walked and was stranded at second in the third. He walked and was stranded at first in the second inning. Numbing at 2 to the lefty Becker. Here's the pitch. Fly down the left field line, drifting foul, and it'll land to the triple play zone. And so Becker swinging at anything near the zone to try and keep the Leyendas alive with two gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Becker at University of Kentucky was an everyday starter, showed positional versatility, typically playing second or third. 0-2 pitch. It's a high fastball. Becker wanted a piece of it, but pulled back in time, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Tripp comes set, 1-2 from the stretch. Fly ball, third base line. Massey coming in near the brick wall, and he watches it drops a foot away from him in the stands. So Becker battling well with 2 strikes here. Six to 3 Leyendas with 2 gone, nobody on the bags here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Lefty Luke Becker at the plate, waiting patiently for Jonathan Tripp to come set with a pitch, and he does. Now the 1-2 delivery. Check swung on again, an outside fastball, didn't go around. Even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tripp through this inning with 2 strikeouts. This one skied to left field. 3 men going after it. Reese darting toward the line. His cap flies off, but he makes the catch at the foul line, and the side is retired. Leyendas go down in order. To end the fifth inning, they still lead 6-3 over the Freedom. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you. Happy Thursday to you all. We are heading into the top of the sixth inning. Leyendas hold a 6-3 lead over the Freedom. Freedom loaded up the bases in the fifth and scored on a single from E.P. Reese. But two straight strikeouts in a row from Zach Hurley, who deals the first one low and in to Craig Massey. Two straight strikeouts ended things with the bases loaded for the Freedom. So a 6-3 Leyendas lead. 1-0 to the lefty Craig Massey, and Hurley deals. Inside changeup runs the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We got somebody chirping at Craig Massey down here in front of home plate, or behind home plate rather, in front of me, as this one's fouled to the netting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So nobody on the bags, nobody out, just getting started here in the top of the sixth. Craig Massey, the lefty, has reached base 3 times this evening. He walked his last time up in the fourth, singled in the second, and singled and scored on a fielder's choice in the first. Ground ball hit to Ellis at third base. He's got plenty of time to get the perfect throw on over to first base. 1 gone. Ellis picked that one up with the one hand. Plenty of time to set, transfer, and fire to first, covering Webb Little. And so Massey grounds into a 5-3 to get things started. Here's Simon Whiteman. Whiteman known for his extremely narrow stance. He's 1 for 3 this evening with a single his first time up and 2 strikeouts to follow in the second and the fourth. First pitch to him. That bounces away from Mike Millian, possibly off his knee pad, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. 6-3 Leyendas here in the top of the sixth. 1 gone on the Craig Massey 5-3. Andrew Murphy with you on the mic. We thank you for joining us on Prep Spin and the Legends Broadcast Network. Here is a loop shot, infield territory, large with the glove, and the throw to first. There's out number 2. Large was dashing in toward the infield grass, had a great route to the ball, put the glove on it, the quick transfer in the sidearm to Webb Little at first, retires Whiteman. So 2 groundouts here, a 5-3 from Massey and a 4-3 from Whiteman. That'll bring up Chad Cedillo at first base tonight for the Florence Freedom. 6-3 Leyendas here in the top of the sixth. Cedillo, 2 for 3 this evening with a pair of singles. He takes one downstairs for strike 1. Nice changeup down the middle for Zach Hurley. Cedillo with a pair of singles, a run, and he grounded into a double play his first time up as the 0-1 bounces off the right knee pad of Millian, rolls down the third base line. Even count now to ball and a strike as Millian out to give Zach Hurley that baseball back and exchange a few words. So as I mentioned earlier, the Freedom had an opportunity to put something big together. They loaded up the bases. Chad Cedillo was at third, Wyatt was at second, and Cesar Trejo had just been walked, and E.P. Reese came up and dribbled one just fair down the first base line to give the Freedom their 3rd run of the game, but 2 strikeouts followed as the 1-1 missed the zone downstairs on a fastball. It's 2-1. As I've mentioned before, the momentum in baseball goes to those, at least offensively, who string things together. 2-1. One misses low and in the dirt, skips away for Millian. It's 3 balls and a strike. Coach Nick Mingione at UK has a concept called the Biggie Box. Not sure if he came up with this himself or he got it from somewhere else. Nevertheless, it's effective. And the Leyendas have done it tonight. A Biggie Box, anywhere beyond 4 runs and just 1 inning on the scoreboard can pretty much pull the momentum forward, or push the momentum forward, rather, as Cedillo takes a walk in that outside pitch. But a team can become more likely to carry the momentum for the rest of the game if they get 1 4 or more run inning posted on the board. And the Leyendas did just that in the third with a 6-run spot. First one of the lefty Wyatt, taking low and inside on a changeup for ball 1. It's a popular pitch from Hurley tonight on the first one, especially to lefties. That changeup low and in has been effective, not even just on the first pitch. 1-0. Another change up, this time taken on the lower third of the zone for strike one, even count at one apiece. So a biggie box. Props to Nick Mingione for that one. It's 6-0. A 6-run spot in the third by the, or 6-3 on a 6-run spot in the third by the Leyendas. That one's taken high and away. 2 balls and a strike. So 6-3 the score. Cedillo with a short lead off the first base bag. Hurley from the stretch with the 2-1. Breaking ball caught the lower third down the middle again. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Wyatt. Wyatt has reached base twice. He singled in the 5th and was stranded at third. He walked in the first inning and was brought home on the Tyler Fitzgerald double to score run number 2 for the Freedom. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. Becker on the run. Picks it up over to second. That'll do it here in the top of the 6th inning. Leyendas back up to bat in the bottom half of the 6th with Webb Little, Mike Millian, and Ben Revere. They lead it 6-3. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Webb Little will lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew Murphy with you as the Leyendas are up 6-3 on the Florence Freedom. Last time the Leyendas were up to bat, they went down in order. Jonathan Tripp, who's still on the mound, struck out 2 men swinging. Luke Becker popped up to left field. Pretty good catch on the run by Reese as the first pitch is fouled to the screen by Webb Little, the first baseman. It's 0-1. Little is 1 for 2 this evening, grounded into an unassisted play at first in the 2nd inning. And he singled in the 3rd. 3rd inning was a big inning for the Leyendas offensively. They put all 6 of the runs they've scored on the board. Tripp with the 0-1. Line drive, left field, and over the head of the reaching Reese. Extra bases for Little. Reese picks it up at the track and guns it into the cutoff, and Webb Little is aboard with a stand-up double to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. So a great piece of extra base hitting for Webb Little to lead things off, and as I just got done talking about in the top of the 6th inning, it's the sort of thing that is needed to gain the momentum in a baseball game or to continue the momentum. It's the stringing together of offensive opportunities, and Webb Little putting himself in scoring position on second base is a great way to get things started. Here's Mike Millian, the righty catcher, in place defensively tonight for the usual man behind the dish, Cole Cottom. As time is called, Millian steps out of the box to tighten up his batting gloves. Beautiful night for baseball here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. It is Thirsty Thursday. All domestic cans are $2. Kentucky Ale products are $3. First pitch, 92 on the gun. Caught the low outside corner to Million. It's 0-1. Time is just past 9 o'clock. A cool 78 degrees. A little bit of breeze coming out of the southwest. 0-1 pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line, and it lands into the Freedom dugout. 0-2 to Million. Million got aboard on an error by the shortstop Fitzgerald back in the third inning. He came around to score as well on an RBI single by Cullen Large. Last time up, also in the third, he grounded into a 5-4-3 putout to end things. And the 0-2. Ground ball hit hard to the shortstop Fitzgerald, who slides 360s, makes a great catch onto first base, one away. What a beautiful play by the shortstop Fitzgerald. Slid to his left to pick that one up, got right back up, and spun around with a dead-on target to first base that beat Mike Million to the bag. And so one away on a swanky play by Tyler Fitzgerald. Webb Little holds up at second base. 6-3 Leyendas here in the bottom of the sixth with one gone and a man in scoring position. Here's the lefty, Ben Revere. First pitch to him, line foul down the left field line. And it's 0-1. Revere is 1 for 3 tonight. Flied out to center field his first time up in the first inning. He singled and scored on the Drew Ellis 2 RBI double. That was in the third, and he struck out looking his last time up in the fourth. Tripp comes set, working from the stretch with a man on second, the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball, right side. Second baseman Whiteman there to pick it up and sidearm to first, 2 gone. Webb Little advances to third base on the fielder's choice, and now 2 gone here in the bottom of the sixth as the Leyendas lead 6-3. So a fancy 6-3 putout from Mike Million, and Ben Revere grounded out to 4-3 to push Webb Little over to third base. And now here's Cullen Large. First pitch to the swish hitter on the left side. Misses outside. Fastball 94 miles an hour. 1 ball, no strikes. Cullen Large was walked but stranded his last time up as Jonathan Tripp came into the game and struck out 3 batters. Pop up over the rooftop down the third base line, and it's 1-1. So Webb Little 90 feet from home plate. Advancing there on the 4-3, hit into by Ben Revere for out number 2. Large looking at a 1-1 count. Lefty-righty matchup. Large wielding the lumber above his head. Nice dark brown Rawlings bat, 1-1. Hard hit fly ball, but foul down the left field line. And the count moves to 1-2. Leyenda's up 6-3 on the Freedom here in the bottom of the sixth. Large back in the box now. In towards the plate, opens up his stance ever so slightly. And now he readies up. Tripp from the stretch, 1-2 pitch. Fastball, 95 miles an hour. Misses the zone up top. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got some action in both bullpens from the Freedom and the Leyendas. Tripp working from the stretch, glove at the chest. Kicks and fires the 2-2. Ground ball right side. Whiteman coming in on it near the second base bag. And a sidearm to first will end the inning. So Webb Little stranded along the base paths. Leyendas are up 6-3 on the Freedom, who are back up to bat in the top of the seventh. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Andrew Murphy back with you at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Leyendas hold their 6-3 lead over the Freedom as we enter the top of the seventh. A couple of one defensive substitution for the Leyendas. Duran Elmore has replaced Luke Heyer in right field. New pitcher on the mound for the Leyendas de Lexington, that's Henry Owens. The lefty facing the righty, Tyler Fitzgerald. And he's hunched in towards Millian for the sign. Millian sets up low. And here's the first one. Breaking ball, missed up and away. Hurley retired after 2 innings of work with 2 hits, 1 run that was earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Henry Owens, the lefty, now on the bump for the Leyendas. 6'6", 220 pounds, 1-0. This is upstairs for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Owens, a first-round pick by the Boston Red Sox in 2011. Spent a lot of time between AA and AAA. Got 2 years of MLB experience as well from 2015 to 2016. Features a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, and a cutter. 2-0. Fastball missed the zone. 3 balls and no strikes. Fitzgerald at the dish to lead things off. He walked and was stranded last inning, or his last time up, I should say, in the 5th. He grounded out in the 3rd and struck out looking in the 1st. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to, I should have said the 3-0 pitch. Looking at the scoreboard there, as Fitzgerald is aboard on a walk. So Fitzgerald aboard at first base. Here's Cesar Trejo. Trejo in right field tonight for the Florence Freedom. Righty-lefty matchup now. Owens from the stretch and the first pitch. Inside fastball in the red. 1 ball, no strikes. Trejo 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and he walked. Back in the 5th inning. 6-3 Leyendas with a runner on and nobody out. Here in the top of the 7th, there's a pitch up and away to Cesar Trejo to move the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Fitzgerald will lead off the first base bag. The lefty Owens with a direct line to him. Instead, the 2-0 fastball misses low and away. 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch. Lifted high in the air to left field. Sturgeon going back, and he makes the catch at the wall. Tyler Fitzgerald was headed for second. Not sure why. Sturgeon clearly made that catch, and I would think that Fitzgerald knows you can't eliminate the force out at first base. Nevertheless, Trejo flies out to left field. Here's E.P. Reese, the left fielder, who drove in the most recent run scored by the Freedom back in the 5th inning on a dribbler single down the first base line that was on the fence as to whether it was fair or foul. Takes a first pitch fastball down the middle in the lower 3rd of the zone. No balls and a strike. Reese has reached base twice tonight. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Owens with the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to cut early on a slider that broke low and away. 0-2. As Owens off the rubber for a moment, removed his sugar skull cap, wiped the sweat from his brow. Leans in towards Millian now. Comes set in the stretch with the glove at the waist. Little with a target on first to cover the shortstop Fitzgerald. That one's well over the ducking head of Reese, and Fitzgerald is at second on a wild pitch. That one must have got away from Owens, rather. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. 1 away, runner in scoring position. Leyendas with a 6-3 lead over the Florence Freedom. And now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 and out number 2. First strikeout on the night for Henry Owens. Delta E.P. Reese. That's Owens' 30th strikeout on the season, and in 15 2/3 innings pitched before coming into this game, of course. Gave up 11 hits, 15 runs, 14 of which were earned, walked 20 batters, and struck out 29. Now 30 on that swinging strikeout dealt to E.P. Reese, the left fielder. Reese now 1 for 3 this evening as the first pitch to Brian Dancero is fouled away. It's 0-1. Six to 3 Leyendas here in the top of the 7th. 2 gone, and Tyler Fitzgerald in scoring position on second base takes a hefty lead off the bag. Owens with a look back to check for cover. The second baseman Large backs off, and the 0-1 fouled to the screen by Brian Dancero. It's 0-2. Dancero is wearing the collar tonight. He flied out to second base to begin things for his offensive night in the second inning. Struck out swinging in the 4th, struck out swinging again in the 5th. Righty-lefty matchup. Dancero in a staggered stance, in towards the plate, middle depth in the box. 0-2. Breaker swung on, chopped to second base. Large picks it up and flips it to first for out number 3. Fitzgerald stranded along the bags. Another goose egg in the runs column for the Freedom, who trail the Leyendas 6-3. Leyendas back up to bat. It's stretch time here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Back in a moment. Duran Elmore leads things off for the Leyendas here in the bottom of the 7th. I had a great stretch. Hope you did too. Leyendas on top 6-3. Elmore came into the game playing right field in place of Luke Heyer, who replaces Drew Ellis at third base. Ellis is out of the game tonight. New pitcher on the mound for the Florence Freedom. He's not listed on their roster, but he blows one by Duran Elmore downstairs. He swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Elmore batting .167 this season in 79 plate appearances. Takes one outside to even up the count of the ball and a strike. Played last night versus the Freedom. He wore the collar. Going 0 for 3 with a run, and he was hit by a pitch to get on base. 1-1. Fastball misses down and in. Bringing the heat on this fastball. 94 miles an hour there to Duran Elmore. Ellis comes out of the game with a double, a run, a strikeout, and a flyout. 2-1. Line drive, left field. Gets down in front of Reese, and Duran Elmore leads things off with a single. So as I mentioned, Duran Elmore replaces Heyer in right field. Luke Heyer replaced Drew Ellis at the third base bag. Talked a little bit about Luke Heyer and his positional versatility that was showcased as early as his days at the University of Kentucky, at least in the time that I've seen him play over the past few years. Here's Cole Cottom, the designated hitter. Speaking of former University of Kentucky Wildcats, he swings and misses at the first pitch, an outside fastball. No balls and a strike. Slight infield shift to the left. Whiteman playing closer to the second base bag. Cedillo at first, covering with Duran Elmore and a short lead off the bag. Swing and a miss at a breaker low and away. Cottom went around late that time, and it's 0-2. Leyendas up 6-3 on the Freedom here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Only scoring done by the Leyendas came in a big chunk in the 3rd inning. They worked Drew Rahm out of the game. He earned all 6 of those runs, 0-2. Tried to double up, get him to chase low and outside there with an off-speed pitch, but missed a touch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cottom struck out swinging his last time up. He singled and scored in the 3rd. He walked in the 2nd, but was called out on a 4-6. Righty looks at a ball and 2 strikes, and righty McGee delivers, swing and a miss at a low fastball. Still don't have a name on this guy. If anybody on the broadcast wants to chime in, maybe somebody from Florence watching who might want to guess who this long-haired pitcher is. He's a righty. His name is not listed on the roster, at least his number isn't. Players have been changing jerseys quite often in this league so far, and here's the first pitch, swung on, flied foul down the left field line by Cole Sturgeon. Sturgeon struck out his last time up, flied out to right in the 3rd, got aboard on a fielder's choice and a throwing error to first by the shortstop Fitzgerald. A 1 pitch. Lifted in the air again, this time foul over the rooftop down the third baseline, and it's 0-2 to Sturgeon. Duran Elmore still at first base. Cottom just struck out swinging. Land is up 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. No Name Jones comes set. Andrew McDonald is his name. Thank you very much. He delivers strike 3 to Cole Sturgeon. 2 strikeouts in a row. Thank you, Jenna Doherty, for clearing that up for us. Andrew McDonald. He's from Mason, Ohio. Thank you, Jenna, for clearing that up. Although, did have a little fun calling him No Name McGee. But Andrew McDonald, the righty on the mound, now with 2 strikeouts here in his first inning of work. Gave up a single to Duran Elmore. Struck out Cole Cottom, and just now struck out Cole Sturgeon. First pitch flied up and over the rooftop by Luke Heyer. 2 gone. Duran Elmore waiting patiently at first base. Chris Mockemer warming up in the bullpen for the Leyendas down the right field line. A 1 to righty. Swung on, driven deep to left field. Get up, get up, get out of here. It's a 2-run home run for Luke Heyer. And the Leyendas take an 8-3 lead over the Freedom here in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Heyer goes yard, taking that one well over the bleachers in left field. And it's 8-3 Leyendas here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 gone. Home run number 13 for Heyer. Grounder up the middle past the reaching glove of the second baseman, Whiteman. Becker's aboard with a single up the middle to keep things alive. As I was saying, home run number 13 for Luke Heyer. He leads the Leyendas in that category by a long shot. And as it's 8-3 Leyendas now, offensive opportunities extended here in the 7th by a single from Luke Becker, and there will be a meeting on the mound. Andrew McDonald is retired. We'll tally his numbers up, get you some new info on the pitcher coming in for the Freedom. Leyendas up 8-3. Back in a moment. Carl Craigie, the lefty, takes things over for Andrew McDonald, who gave up 2 runs, both earned on a home run. And a stolen base there for Luke Becker on the first pitch outside. It's 1-0 to Webb Little. McDonald struck out 2 batters before giving up the 2-run shot to Luke Heyer. Luke Becker got aboard on a single, and he just stole second base. Webb Little at the plate now, 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and an unassisted ground out as he fouls that one hard and over the rooftop down the third base line. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 8-3 Leyendas here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 gone and a man on. Webb Little, the lefty, facing the lefty Carl Craigie. Working from the stretch with a runner on, now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So all the scoring for the Leyendas happened in the 3rd inning on a 6-run spot, and then a 2-run spot here in the 7th, courtesy of a 2-run shot to Luke Heyer. From Luke Heyer, rather. 1-2 misses up and away, evens up the count at 2-2. Webb Little, the first baseman. Reddy's back up on the left side. Rich lunged in towards his catcher, Craigie lunged toward Rich as that one is grounded foul down the third base line. It's 2-2. For all you Reds fans out there, Jesse Winker just hit a sacrifice fly in the top of the 1st to score Nick Castellanos, and the Reds have extended their lead over the Cubs 2-0. Shortly after Joey Votto scored in the top of the 1st. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Webb Little. Craigie with the 2-2. Line drive, hopped into the glove of Cedillo, and he steps on the bag for out number 3. Becker stranded along the base paths, but the Leyendas put 2 more on the board. They lead at 8-3. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark. An unusual setting here as Cole Sturgeon delivers the first pitch on the outside half to the leadoff man here, Marshall Rich. A couple of defensive substitutions. Duran Elmore moves to left field in place of Cole Sturgeon, who's on the mound now. Sam Little takes Elmore's place in right field. He will bat in the designated hitter spot for Cole Cottom. As the 0-1 fouled to the screen by the righty Marshall Rich. Leyenda's up 8-3 over the Freedom here in the top of the 8th inning. Rich struck out swinging his last time up in the 6th, grounded out in the 4th. He walked and was stranded at 3rd in the 2nd. Righty-lefty matchup. Sturgeon working from the stretch with nobody on. The 0-2. Breaker missed a touch downstairs, tried for the middle third, or the lower third rather, down the middle. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rich gives the plate a tap and the bat a spin, rotates it into his right hand and perches it above his right shoulder. 1-2. Breaker hit the dirt. Rich thought about going around, but he pulled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very slow moving breaking ball from Sturgeon. Infield playing straight away, as is the outfield. Big gap with all infielders playing deep. 2-2 on the way to Rich. Swing and a foul tip back to the net. Rich able to find a piece of that one off the end of the barrel, and he stays alive for at least one more pitch. He's out of the box now, tightening those ice white batting gloves, wipes some sweat from his brow, and steps back in the straightaway shoulder width stance. Check that, slightly closed off. His front foot a little more forward than the back one, and the 2-2 rather, is fouled up and over the rooftop down the first base line, and he'll stay alive for another pitch. Nobody out, nobody on. Leyenda's up 8-3 here in the top of the 8th inning. Cole Sturgeon getting some work on the mound. Chris Mockamer appears to be warming up in the bullpen for the Leyendas. Scratch that, Michael Koltak, as the 2-2 whizzes past Rich down and away to fill up the count at 3-2. I knew I couldn't mistake that long frizzy hair. That's got to be Michael Koltak. So Mockamer only threw a bullpen, and it looks like Koltak will be called upon to close out this game. 3-2. And it's a walk dealt to Marshall Rich to get things started here in the top of the 8th. So Rich has now reached base twice in this game, both times drawing walks, once in the 2nd and just now here in the top of the 8th. That'll bring up Craig Massey for the 5th time in the game. This is his 5th plate appearance, and he's gotten on base in 3 of his last 4. He singled and scored the first run of the game in the 1st, singled and stranded in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and grounded out his last time up in the 6th. First pitch to him, taken on the outer half of the zone, 0-1. Nice looking fastball there, downstairs in the zone. From Cole Sturgeon, 91 miles an hour. Lefty-lefty matchup. Massey opens up his stance, middle depth in the box. 0-1. That one misses in the dirt. Worm killer. Might have lost his grip there, or gripped it too hard, rather. 1 ball and 1 strike on what looked like it was going to be a curveball. That found the dirt a few feet in front of Mike Millian, who's now set up low and inside the 1-1. Got him to swing and foul that one off down the right field line. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Leyenda's up 8-3 over the Freedom. Nobody on the bags, 1 gone here in the top of the 8th inning. Sturgeon gives Millian the nod, now comes set, working from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, tried to paint the low outside corner, but missed a touch downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Beautiful night for baseball here in Lexington as the clock edges towards 10. 78 degrees, a little breezy out here. 2-2. Fastball finds the dirt. That'll fill things up at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sturgeon on the mound has replaced Henry Owens. Should have mentioned this earlier. 1 inning of work, no hits, no runs, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. 3-2. Line drive right over the leaping second baseman Large. It rolls into right center field. Rich rounds the first base bag, and he'll stand up at second base safely with a 1-out double. Rich scored on that double to right center field. The score is 8-4. Leyendas now. Got an early jump on the payoff that was well hit. This one's well hit, but fouled down the right field line. It's 0-1 to Simon Whiteman. No balls and a strike now to Whiteman, who is 1 for 4. He singled back in the first. 0-1, runner goes, pitches outside. The tag put on the runner in time. Massey called out at third base. So Millian catches a man stealing. It's a 2-5 put out. Three Leyendas as that one's taken outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two one. That's low for a ball. 3 balls and a strike. One. Called a strike on the lower third. Now a full count at 3-2. Now the payoff. Weak chopper, right side, Large with the glove, and the throw is just wide of the bag. So Whiteman aboard at first. First pitch to him, taking on the outer half. No balls and a strike. This is lined up the middle. Whiteman rounding the second base bag. He's into third. Chad Cedillo aboard on a single.
I see you moving, coach. Yes, sir. Get on down there, 1-9. Let me see a cut there, 1-9. Let me see a swing. I love that bandana, coach. America. Hey. Hey, buddy. All right.
So runners on the corners now, 2 gone. First pitch to Wyatt, taken downstairs, no balls and a strike.
Come on, coach. Aaron. Attaboy, 10. Hey, 2 good cuts. Hey, Simone, shut up. Is 2 sleeping over there?
0-1 pitch to the lefty Wyatt. Swung on, chopped high. It's drifting foul, and it lands in foul territory. So Cedillo at first, Whiteman at third. 8-3 Leyendas here in the top of the 8th inning. Two gone, runners on, 0-2. Cole Sturgeon looking to put this away, bring the Leyendas up to bat. 0-2 pitch. Bounced in the dirt, now a ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Logan Wyatt looking at a 1-2 count. Ball with 2 strikes on the lefty Wyatt. Fly ball, shallow center field. 3 men coming towards it. As Revere sets up shop and makes the catch, the side is retired. Leyendas up 8-3 on the Freedom. They come back up to bat when we return. Bottom of the 8th. Just a few moments on the Leyendas Broadcast Network. Leyendas up 8-3 as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you on the mic. As leading off for the Leyendas, here is Mike Millian. Carl Craigie still on the mound for the Florence Freedom. He came in to relieve Andrew McDonald. The lefty deals the first pitch to Millian. It's a fastball taken downstairs for a called strike 1. Righty-lefty matchup. Millian opens up his stance. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to go on the low breaking ball. Now 0-2. Millian's 0 for 3 tonight. He grounded into a 6-3 in the 6th. Grounded into a 5-4-3 to end the 3rd and led off the 3rd with, got a board on an error, and he bats the breeze at the 2-strike pitch, and he sits down. 1 gone here in the 8th. First strikeout for Carl Craigie, the lefty, since he came in to first face Webb Little, who grounded into an unassisted play at first base back in the 7th. So the Leyendas come around to the top of the order for the 5th time this game. Ben Revere, the lefty, settles in and readies up. First pitch, taken low and in for a ball, 1-0. Revere is 1 for 4 tonight with a single and a run. That was back in the 3rd. He struck out once. That was in the 4th. Waving the bat aggressively up and down above his left shoulder, 1-0. Line drive into the hopping glove of the shortstop Fitzgerald. What a catch. 2 gone. I usually don't like to celebrate Leyendas or Legends players hitting into outs, but my goodness, what a spectacular catch on the hop by the shortstop Fitzgerald. Yeah, 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th to bring up Colin Large, the second baseman. It's the kind of range you have to have vertically as a shortstop, and Fitzgerald put on a show. Swing and a miss, the first one down and away to Colin Large, 0-1. Large, 1 for 3 with a single and a run in the 3rd. He walked in the 4th and is grounded out twice, once in the 1st and again in the 6th. Batting from the right side now, a switch hitter facing the lefty Craigie, who comes set, glove at the waist in the 0-1 delivery. Ground ball, left side, between Massey and Fitzgerald, rolls into left field. Large is aboard with a 2-out single. So with Large aboard at first, here's Duran Elmore. Elmore came into the game in the 7th inning, hitting in place of Drew Ellis. He replaced Luke Heyer in right field. Heyer went to 3rd to replace Ellis, who came out of the game earlier. First pitch down and in to Elmore, 1-0. Elmore now in left field in place of Sturgeon, who came in to pitch last half inning. And Heyer is at 3rd base, by the way. 8-3 Leyendas, 1-0. Taken on the outside corner for a strike to Duran Elmore, 1-1. Elmore is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up in the 7th. Straightaway stance, shoulder width, in towards the plate on the right side, looking calm and composed. The 1-1. Ground ball left side. On the run is Fitzgerald, and a throw to second will do it for out number 3. So Leyendas up 8-3. Got a half an inning of work to do before taking this game over the Freedom. Michael Koltak will likely come in to pitch for the Leyendas. Back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Andrew Murphy with you. Leyenda's up 8-3 on the Freedom. Top of the ninth starts now. Michael Koltak comes in to relieve Cole Sturgeon. Michael Koltak with that unmistakable beard and frizzy flow. Coming out the back of the sugar skull cap there. The righty facing the righty, Tyler Fitzgerald deals the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaker, found the dirt. It's 0-1. Koltak throws a two-seamer, four-seamer, change-up, curve, and a slider. Five-pitch arsenal there. In his last appearance on September 6th at Florence versus the Yalls, he threw one inning with no hits, no runs, no walks, and two strikeouts. 0-1. Their breaker got away for Million that time. That evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Fitzgerald has reached base 3 times tonight. He doubled his first time up and scored Logan Wyatt 1-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, rather. Will run the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fitzgerald doubled and had a run batted in the first. He walked and stole second in the third. Flied out to left in the fifth and walked and took second on a wild pitch back in the seventh. He looks at a 1-2 count, righty-righty matchup. Fitzgerald in a straightaway shoulder width stance in towards the plate, 1-2. Ground ball towards Large at second and a flip over to first, 1 away. Textbook 4-3 putout retires Fitzgerald, and Cesar Trejo will take his place in the batter's box on the right side. Koltak with a total 23 strikeouts on the season, and compare that with a low 7 walks. Great ratio there. His pitching has decided the fate of 3 games. He's 1-2 on the season, and he deals a first pitch strike on the outside corner to the righty Cesar Trejo. Oh, 1. It's downstairs a bit. Fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trejo 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a walk. Ready's up on the right side. Koltak from the stretch with the 1-1. Was a bit too low for the home plate umpire's liking, and the count moves to 2-1. 8-3 Leyendas here in the top of the ninth. Koltak comes set, working from the stretch. Glove at the waist, the 2-1. That one bounces away from Million, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Infield playing pretty deep, and straight away, outfield the same way. 3 balls and a strike on Trejo. Now the pitch. That's fouled away. That'll fill things up at 3-2. Tyler Fitzgerald grounded out on a 4-3 for the first out here in the top of the ninth. Koltak looking to put away Trejo. And the payoff. Down and away as Trejo flips the bat toward the Freedom dugout down the third base line. So he's aboard on a walk. And the infield will shift to double play depth as the lefty E.P. Reese in left field tonight for the Freedom takes his place in the box. Koltak's going to want to keep it low here. Try and pitch into maybe a double play. Runner goes on the first pitch. He went before Koltak began his cadence, and so it's a stolen base for Trejo. That certainly eliminates the possibility of the double play with 1 out. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him on a changeup outside, 0-2. Tactful base running by Cesar Trejo. Ran at the exact perfect place at the perfect time. Chopper This one's to second base. Large picks it up, flip to first for out number 2. Trejo advances to third base on the fielder's choice. And a 4-3 puts away E.P. Reese. 2 gone here in the top of the 9th. So Brian Dansereau has been retired from the game. Austin Riggins will come in to pinch hit for him. With 2 gone and a runner 90 feet from home plate here in the top of the 9th. Michael Koltak on the mound. Ready's up. Glove at the waist. First pitch to Riggins. Lifted in the air, drifting foul down the third base line. Higher after it, he watches it drop into the stands. 0-1. Dansereau in center field has come out of this game. Riggins pinch hitting for him, but Dansereau ended the night wearing the collar, 0 for 4 with a flyout, 2 swinging strikeouts, and a ground out. His most recent at-bat in the 7th. 0-1 to the righty, Austin Riggins. Open stance, knees bent, slightly hunched in toward the plate. 0-1. Taken down low, a changeup for ball 2. That one missed low and in. Now the pitch. Taken on the outside corner for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to the righty Riggins. We'll tack 1 pitch away from securing this victory for the Leyendas. The 1-2 pitch. Taken low for a ball. Changeup, missed a touch. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Riggins. 8-3 Leyendas here in the top of the 9th. Koltak with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And this one belongs to the Leyendas. They take the game by the score of 8-3. So this game was dominated by that 6-run third inning, where the Leyendas offense just worked Drew Rom out of the game. So he takes the loss. Caven Brown takes the win for the Leyendas. So Leyendas take this game 8-3. 10 hits apiece, 2 errors for the Freedom, 1 for the Leyendas. That's going to do it here for us in the broadcast booth. From everybody here at PrepSpin and the Legends Broadcast Network, this is Andrew Murphy from Whitaker Bank Ballpark saying so long, everybody.